So today we saw it being released, one of the most embarrassing things we have ever seen written. Not only about Paige Beckers, but about Caitlin Clark and all of these things. Like, I genuinely, this is, there's a lot of things that I will say are in bad faith. The word embarrassing is the only word I can use to describe what this article is. And it's an article by a former NBA player, Etan Thomas. And it is so mad to look at. And the only problem is, for some reason, I can't even get on to freaking X. So I need to see if I can find what is written. But it's bad enough that Sports Illustrated are writing about it. Like, everybody is talking about this. And by the way, it's an article from The Guardian. And by the way, I just want to make this a point. I am Irish. I don't know what is going on in America. And you know what? I don't necessarily care. Because when it comes to writing stuff about individual people, right is right and wrong is wrong. Straight up, right is right and wrong is wrong. And this is wrong purely. This is wrong on both parts. It's wrong to write what was written about Paige, and it's right to, or it's wrong to write it from the perspective of talking about Caitlin as well. It says, why hasn't Middle America given Paige Beckers the Caitlin Clark treatment? Because she's not as good at basketball. That is the reality. She is not as good as basketball. The Yukon Cars embraced Black America rather than being pitched against it. It means she's not been lionized in the same ways as a similarly brilliant player. First of all, they're not in the same stratosphere. They're not 19. People are literally saying, I've heard an argument, people saying, they're very close because who was freshman of the year? I'm sorry, who was rookie of the year? Malcolm Brogdon or Jaylen Brown? Malcolm Brogdon. Do you know Dario Saric was closer to winning rookie of the year than Jaylen Brown was? Does that mean Jaylen Brown's this unbelievable player? No. Like, we're looking at mad stuff. There are players that have not made all rookie teams that have been all-stars. And rookie of the years, they've done nothing in those same years. It makes no difference. It's crazy. Not 19 anymore. And first of all, this is ignoring the fact that Caitlin Clark has done everything she can to uplift everybody. And it is not uplifting. And you can tell with the way Caitlin Clark is saying it, it's not uplifting people because she has to. It's uplifting people because she wants to. And I've no doubt about it, Paige Beckers, from everything you read about Paige Beckers, she's an unbelievably good person as well. But the way this stuff is written, it genuinely seems like Paige Beckers isn't, or nor Caitlin Clark are doing what they're doing out of the goodness of their heart. That all their actions are now effectively are being tokenized by people like Etan Thomas. Etan Thomas played in the damn league. Come on, man. This isn't just some freaking clickbait journalist. This is a former NBA player. It's a former lottery pick. Paige Beckers' probable number one overall pick is a brilliant talent. I agree. Although she made the point that everyone was focused on me when I did UConn my freshman year. She said, I think it's important for the game to share a spotlight and grow, show some of the stars of college basketball, not to focus on one particular player. Whether we me, Caitlin, Juju, Angel, there's so many names of college basketball that are huge and stars deserve credit. I'm pretty sure that if you had said that tweet and replaced the name Caitlin with Paige, and you had accredited that tweet to or that quote to Caitlin Clark, not only would every single person believe that it was a Caitlin Clark, that the Hatelans would probably go and make that some way of something against her. Very admirable for her, but sometimes praised you. In 2021, she's the first freshman to earn the Wooden Award. She also, ironically enough, she actually won co-freshman of the year with Caitlin Clark. But July, she tore her ACL. Cool. She hasn't been the same. She's the only player across the NBA, WNBA, and college ball with a 50, 40, 90 line assist to turnover ratio. I'm sorry, again, and top assist to turnover ratio. I'm sorry, no one will ever do that again, but it helps when you're playing with Sarah Strong. It helps when you're playing with AZ Fudd. Look at Kevin Durant's efficiency numbers for Golden State. They were crazy. Having nearly 20 a game and a conference best 4.8. That is pathetic. The 4.8 assists per game is best in her conference. It's a little wonder why your team weren't the favourites to win the championship. Yeah. UConn are insane. UConn have a player equally as good as Paige and Sarah Strong, which is why they're so scary. Which is so scary. To bounce back from series of serious injuries, amazing, yada yada. Beckers doesn't receive the same fawning attention from large parts of wide America. Why? A player with similar skills. What similar skills? Genuinely, what similar skills? There is almost zero similarities to how they play other than their position. Paige Beckers is obsessed with efficiency. Caitlin Clark plays with flair. There is almost zero similarities in the way that Caitlin Clark and Paige Beckers approach the game of basketball. Caitlin Clark is someone that, for better or for worse, attacks the game. She takes the game head on. Paige lets the game come to her. We can make all these arguments which is a better way of doing it. I would take, if you're talking about a piece on an elite team, if you're talking about this is a team with 7 All-Stars, who do you want on it? You could argue, yeah, maybe Paige will help. If you're the Minnesota Lynx, would Paige help more than Caitlin? Maybe. But when we're talking about the stars, Paige is not a star. Paige is just a real good player. She's a real good freaking player. That's about it. And also, by the way, this is the whole thing. Everyone talking about, it's only Middle America. It's only Middle America. So what the hell does Middle America have to do with the fact of calling it White America? Caitlin Clark is a phenomenon. This is Uganda. We are looking at Uganda right now. And there are people wearing there are a bunch of girls wearing Iowa t-shirts. Like magic in my eyes. They are, it is, the worst part is that what Caitlin Clark has done across the world has got people interested in women's basketball. And Etan Thomas, a former, and this is the worst part of it, is a former NBA player who knows. He knows exactly why. He played during Iverson's era. It is like saying, why is Iverson getting more media attention than Tim Duncan? Even though Duncan is the better player. Even though in 2000 you could argue either way. But still. Perhaps because unlike Clark, Beck has always been outspoken at issues off the court. So is Caitlin. Caitlin's not an activist, but you're acting like she hasn't spoke up. You're acting like she hasn't spoke up and she doesn't speak up. Like, what are people on about? Like, what are people talking about? Only 19 at the time. So why are we talking about this? This was 4 years ago. Paige Beckers is more popular now than she was 4 years ago. What are we talking about? Like, she went on to acknowledge the Trailblazers. So was Caitlin. It seemed like mainstream white American demographic that once viewed her words in media darling weren't singing her praise quite as much. Everyone was. She's just not as good at basketball as Caitlin Clark. What are you talking about? She's just not as good as basketball. Another factor is the Angel Reese. Like, what do you mean the Angel Reese effect? Angel Reese didn't drop 40 points against South Carolina. Angel Reese didn't have a 40-point triple-double against Hailey Van Lith when everyone liked Hailey Van Lith. What are we talking about? I'm not even I'm scrolling through to read this. There's been no black villain for Beckers to compete against. What are you talking about? She played in a championship game against Aaliyah Boston. You just don't understand the sport, Etan Thomas. You are an NBA player that is making a basketball argument as far away from basketball as possible. You're acting like South Carolina's best players aren't Full Wiley, Joyce Edwards, and that's who she's competing with. You're acting like she didn't compete with Aaliyah Boston in 2021 for that Player of the Year. You're acting like she didn't compete in a championship game against Aaliyah Boston. You're acting like all of these things didn't happen. You're acting like the current rivalries between Paige and Juju. What are you talking about? Meanwhile, during Ramadan, Beckers cooks breakfast for her Muslim teammate, El Alfie. That's great. That's genuinely. Paige Beckers is a really nice person. What does this have to do with Caitlin Clark? I'm sorry. There are no random people being like, Paige Beckers is a nice person, so we're going to, we don't like for that. Sings gospel songs to Blackbirds. What does that mean? What the hell does that mean? Has a level of connection with her black demons that only truly resembles a sisterhood. What does that mean? Like, Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston have you not seen the stuff with Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah? Caitlin Clark didn't leave Erica Wheeler's side last year. What are you talking about? Has black stepsisters, brothers and stepsisters. What difference does that make? I'm sorry. What difference does that make? Has had black boyfriends. Does Paige know this? Does Paige know this? Has designated herself her ally to her black teams on multiple occasions. So is Caitlyn. Not just in her SB speech, like, all this not sit with a certain demographic who embrace Clark. The demographic doesn't like Caitlyn Clark. Let's be real. You are just basically saying the only people that like Caitlyn Clark are the. You're basically saying why have the racists not taken to Paige Beckers? And by the way, they don't like Caitlyn Clark either. They don't like, and she's done everything, and like nobody wants. By the way, nobody wants that fan group to be fans of them, and it's an unfortunate thing that like some of those people are like fans of myself, but nobody should want that to be your freaking fan base. Like, let's be honest here, but still, it's just mad. It's just all around mad. This was an embarrassing article by Etan Thomas. Like, this is a guy, man, I used to use your card in my team. I used to NBA 2K20 or 21 my team. You had a beast of a diamond card. Or sorry, of a emerald card. You had a token reward emerald card. And I used to use you in offline all the time. I think it was 2K21 maybe, was it? Yeah. You were an emerald token reward. Back in my day, when I made my in 2K21 what token cards you should buy. You only had 40 speed, but I'm telling you, you were a rebounding monster to start of that game. I spent 3 tokens on you, Etan Thomas. And if I could go back in a time machine 4 years ago, I would not have spent tokens. I would not have put you on the court in 2K because this article is embarrassing. That's the only word I can use to describe it. It is embarrassing. And the worst part about this is it's not fair to Paige and it's not fair to Caitlyn Clark. Because you're almost making it sound like it's almost in a weird way. It seems like you're trying to tokenify Paige being just a good person. That you're trying to neglect and pretend that Caitlyn Clark isn't either. By all accounts, they're both really good people. And you don't seem to care about that because you just want to push a narrative. Like, we can go to how many clips. Again, I've shown Caitlyn Clark in Uganda. You can show people wearing what people did with Sabrina Ionescu in the Philippines. The reality is that Paige is a very good basketball player. Paige plays with no flair. Paige is calculated in everything she does. Paige focuses on efficiency a lot of the time more than it is on scoring. Her focus is on efficiency. She wants to take and do the most efficient thing in every single play. And that's great for a 2A, 2B option, but you can't be a 1A option doing that and have any success. Which helps in college because she's got Sarah Strong, who late in close games. Every single game UConn have lost this year. UConn haven't won a close game this year, by the way. And in every single close game they've played, Paige Beckers has not showed up down the stretch. And that is a fact. Whereas Caitlyn Clark was willing her teams to wins, in close game, Paige Beckers looks unbelievable when UConn as a team are firing on all cylinders. And when UConn are firing on all cylinders and their whole team are playing, she looks unbelievable. But when it comes down to it, close game, when shots get a little bit harder, the rim gets a little bit smaller, and the crowd noise gets a little bit louder, she has really struggled since her freshman year. Not even really struggled, she was good last year, but she has really struggled for the last while, to be honest. Like, we didn't really watch much of her last year. She really struggled this year. Really struggled. But anyway, yeah. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. As always, see you guys.